Welcome everyone, this is Rajendran here. In this tutorial, what we are going to learn is we are going to learn how to use Microsoft Excel based Power Query to extract Upstox historical data into the Excel sheet. So if you see the charts over here, if you see the Excel sheet over here, you are able to see that Reliance 5-minute data, 5-minute historical data, I'm able to retrieve almost 300 plus records I'm able to retrieve for the last 7 days. Every 5 minutes it keeps on fetching those information, and we can also go back to the data and we can also refresh the connections, and it freshes the fresh data over here. It always keeps on loading the fresh data over here. Now how to get this information is what I'm going to explain over here. I'm going to use Power Query to do that. Now, first of all, the requirements here, one need to have an AlgoMojo trading account, and along with that they also need to have an under the AlgoMojo they also have to open Upstox trading account. In that case you will be eligible for getting a free Upstox historical API data and interactive API data for automated trading. Now we can go to the AlgoMojo documentation. Let me go to the AlgoMojo documentation over here. So algomojo.com. So first of all, you go to the algomojo.com. From there you go to algomojo/docs. Go and get the Upstox API for the historical data. Now once you're done with that, here is the Upstox API data and here is the API endpoint connection. These are the two primary things which are very important for getting the database into your Excel. Now followed by that, what you have to do here is you have to go and log into up.algomojo.com. In my case, I already logged in. Once I logged in, I'll go to the My API section. I'll go and get the API key and API secret key. Now this API key and API secret key is very important for fetching the Upstox data set during the live market hours, even after the market hours as well. Now coming back to the Upstox AlgoMojo API, first of all, copy this particular URL and then bring to your Excel sheet. Open a new Excel sheet. I'm going to start demonstrating with a new Excel sheet over here. All right. So from here, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to data and I'm going to get the data from the web. I'm going to click on data from the web. See here, automatically it opens a box. So where I'm going to say like advanced, I'm going to put the URL in parts here. One of the value I'm going to select here. I'm going to put the historical value over here, whatever I copied. What I copied here is the API endpoint to access the historical data set. And followed by that, I'm also going to the header section and I'm going to select content type. The content type I'm going to say like application /JSON. This is a content type. Now once the content type is typed, now automatically what we have to do here is I have to press OK here. So I clicked on OK. Automatically what it does is it opens the Power Query. Microsoft Power Query editor will be opened. It takes a little bit of time, but it gets opened automatically. So in my case it got opened over here. Now, so here is the information that you'll be seeing. If you see that, it's getting some record. However, this is not a proper way. We have to send the data as well. We have to send the data. This particular data also we have to send along with the query. So let me copy the query over here. First of all, I'll put it in a notepad. I'll open a notepad and then I'll put those values in the notepad. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to format the data according to the Power Query. So it is very simple. I'll give Control H. I'll type, instead of single quotes, I'll replace it with double quotes over here. I'll replace it with the double quotes. I'll replace all. So now this query is eligible to send this information inside the Power Query data. So here I'm going to replace the sample API query and API secret key with my API key and my API secret key. Let me also do it over here. I'll copy the API key. I'll replace the sample API key with my API key, and I also go back and I replace the API secret key with my API secret key over here. So whichever the symbol you want to fetch you want a Nifty future or NSE index, anything you want to get, or you want to get an options data, or you want to get a commodities data, anything and everything, you can place the appropriate symbol, appropriate exchange, an appropriate interval. In my case, let's say I want some 5-minute data. 5-minute data, and I want to fetch from 29/1/2021 to, let's say, 24/1/2021. Remember, intraday data you can fetch maximum up to a period of 7 days. However, you can fetch last 180 days, any days of 7 days data, you can get those information if you are a Upstox user and if you would have opened a trading account under Algomojo. Now, this is the information I'm going to feed into the API. I'm going to copy this information. Okay. I'm going to go to the Power Query Editor. So here is a Power Query Editor over here, Microsoft Power Query Editor. I'm going to the Home tab. From here, I'm going to click on the Advanced Editor. See that Advanced Editor opened. Now what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to I'll type enter, give a tab. I'll say URL equals. I'm going to copy this information. I'm going to replace this information with a URL. I'm going to cut this information from here. I'll type it as an URL. That URL value, I'm going to place it over here. And then I'll give a comma. I'll move on to the next line. And body is the information I have to send. Body is information I have to send. So the body is nothing but it is a string information. Inside the string information, I have to pass on the data which we collected from the notepad. So this is the information I'm going to pass it on, and in response I will be getting a data from the Upstox. This is the information I'm going to pass it on. So end of the line, I'm going to give one more comma over here, followed by that json.document web.contents URL. So here we are passing the headers. Along with the header, we also have to pass the data. Data we have to pass in the form of context, comma, context equals text.binary, text.to binary. Inside this binary, I'm passing the, inside this binary, I'm passing the our body variable, BODY. So this body is a variable. This is the information I'm passing along with this message. So this message will be sent to this particular URL. So that means what? This message over here, the body message will be sent to that particular URL, and that message type is application/JSON. So now I'm just sending this data as a source. Let me click on done over here. You see that there should be no syntax error has been detected. That means you're good to go, and press OK. Now here the context is it an valid variable. So that is not a context, it is a content. So I'll go to the advanced editor, I'll make the changes. It's a content. It's content, okay. It's application content. Click OK now. No errors. So it's processing. So it says like status is okay. It is getting the list. You click on the list, automatically you will get to know the list of details over here. You're able to see the complete list of data. So these are the list of data it got collected in the Power Query Editor. Still it is not transferred to the Excel, but remember this is the data. Now we have to do to the table. We have to convert this into a table. So let me convert this particular data into a table over here. So it is asking for creating a table from various values. So it is asking to collect an identifier. So whether you want to split, how you want to split the columns. I want to split the columns using a comma. So I'm selecting a comma and I'll press OK over here. So automatically you can see that the columns got split automatically into the what? It automatically gets split into the different columns. So we're having a timestamp under the column 1. Open, high, low, close and volume. So here I'm going to go to, I'm going to change the columns over here. I'm going to say like date time it is. And again followed by that this is open, and followed by that high, low, close, volume, high and low. I'm just renaming the columns, high, low, close and volume, and what? Volume. So whatever I'm doing here, it is already collecting in the step-by-step format like a macro. That is what the Power Query editor is doing. Now one more thing I have to do it over here. This timestamp is in unique timestamp format. I have to convert this timestamp into I have to convert this timestamp into date and time format. That too, this time is in GMT time. I also have to convert into IST time as well simultaneously. Now in order to do that, what I am going to do here is I am going to go to the add column section. From here, and from the add column section, I'll go to the custom column. I click on the custom column. Now under this custom column, I give a new name. The new name is more or less the same thing, date time only. Date time. Okay. Anyways, it's a date time. I don't need to change the column name. But however, I'm going to give a column formula. Or I'll say instead I'll give a different name over here. I'll say like timestamp. Okay. Timestamp is the new name. I'll make it as a timestamp. And I'm going to give a simple formula over here. The formula here is hash date time. Hash date time of 1970, which is a year, and month is 1 and date is 1, and followed by that hour, minute and seconds. All these are, I'm going to make it like 0, 0, 0. So all the hour, minute, seconds are 0. Now along with this, I'm also going to add a duration, hash duration. I'm going to convert this into GMT time, right? So I'm going to additionally add an offset of 5 hours 30 minutes. I'm going to add along with this. So I'm going to add 0, 5, 30. So 0, 5, 30 is what I'm adding over here, and followed by that comma, I'm going to add the date time column. So date time column divided by 100, divided by 1000. So this will convert the date and time timestamp into the IST timings. I'll press OK over here. You could see that, you can able to see that how the time we are able to retrieve. 25th to 29th data would have been retrieved over here. And now I don't need this column. I'll go and delete this column. I'll remove this column. I'll drag and drop this column to the front. I dragged it and then dropping over here. So whatever I'm doing here, it is completely creating like a kind of a steps. So every time it will try to do the same thing over and over and again. These are the kind of instructions the Power Query will do. Whatever I'm doing manually right now, or whatever I'm doing in a coding level, it will be doing it like a process. And I'm going to rename the column as date time. So you could see, like, after reordering the column, I'm renaming the column 1 again. Now if I go to the home and I'll check the advanced editor, you can see that these are the process. It will get me the final data over here. So these are the columns. Finally, I will be able to get the final output in this particular format. Now I close and load the data. What I will be getting here is, I will be getting the Reliance data. And if this Reliance data, if you could see that the date and time format is not in a proper format, so what I have to do is that I have to apply a custom format over here. I'll right click and I'll go to the format cells. From the format cells, I select custom. From here, what I want is a date and time format is what I want. So date, month, year, followed by that hour, colon, minute, HH, mm, and SS, seconds, and I'll press OK. Now I will be able to convert the date and time in a proper format: open, high, low, close, volume. I'm able to get it over here. If in case if I want to refresh the data, I can go to the data tab. I can click on refresh all to refresh it. If I want to see the properties, I can see the properties over here. And if in case I want to go back to the query editor, I have to go to data. I have to click on the queries and connections. Go to the data, query, click on queries and connections. From here, historical is here. Double click on that. So you'll be able to open the Power Query editor automatically the moment you are clicking and opening over here. So you can edit those values, or you can see the data sources, you can load the status, you can see when was the last time refreshed. Completely you can see the from the queries and connections, you can see the complete information about that particular set. So let me double click again. You could see that the Power Query editor gets opened. From here you can go back and access those editors, and you can make changes to your codes. Anything and everything, if you want to make changes in your codes, you can do that. Once you're done, you can consider closing your query, and that's how the automation of Power Query works. Using this Power Query, we can able to retrieve the historical Upstox data using the AlgoMojo platform. So if in case if you want this Excel sheet, I'll also post the Excel sheet down below the YouTube section, and also I'll give you the link to the AlgoMojo blog and our Market Calls blog. I'll give you the link down below, so you can go down and you can access the Power Query tool as well. The Power Query code I'll be posting over there. You can directly copy that code and you can use it in your Excel to access those Upstox data set. As I said, you need to have a AlgoMojo Upstox account to access these intraday data or end of the day data. In case of end of the data, you will be eligible to access up to, since 2005 onwards, you'll be able to access the daily, weekly, monthly data and everything at free of cost. So I hope you learned something new in this tutorial. In the next tutorial, I'll come up with even more interesting information. So until then, stay tuned. Thanks for coming by and attending the session. Thank you once again.